Hey guys, here's a quick video of some of these barn finds in the house that I'm staying in this summer. This is Martha's Vineyard. We're way back in the woods here at an old camp built in the 80s. But what is in the garage but a 13-foot whaler and a International Scout. So this thing is pretty freaking cool. It's got the right stance, nice wheels and tires. It's kind of the truck version. I would guess this is late 70s. But I've never really gotten up close to one of these until now. It's got this headache rack that's actually on backwards. It's just sitting in there. And it's got this cool little fiberglass top that's removable, obviously. Little bed, but usable. No trailer hitch. It looks to be in decent shape. The rockers are there. It's a little something going on there. The inside's not as great, but wow, that's a big door. Here we have the serial number, International Harvester, Chicago, Illinois. It's pretty cool. Scout 2 4x4. 71, I think, because the last two digits are 71. So I guess it's a 71. It's kind of cool. There's some room behind the seats, which you don't really get on a standard cab pickup. Looks like it's got the original carpet in here. So this is an automatic. This is your 4x4 shifter, your auto trans shifter. Locking diff. This is all metal too. It's pretty cool. Like, new cars are all plastic, but kind of the center console here is the only plastic in here. Oh, look at that. It's even got the original owner's manual. 1972. It's pretty cool. I'm sure somebody out there really wants this little booklet. Other junk. Big door. One of the really cool things about this truck is the hood opens up forwards. So looks like a small block Chevy. Some little carburetor on there. It's got power brakes, power steering. Don't believe it has air conditioning. I would be shocked if it does. But you got a blower motor over there. Here's the inside. Let's see how many miles she has. 51,300 miles. It is an automatic. Air conditioning, Only a few little lights. Wiper wash. And what's that one? Not sure. Little turn signal, that's great. You got temp, oil pressure, voltage, or it just says alternator. D and C. Fuel, speedometer. No radio. Looks like these seats are aftermarket. It's got roll-up windows. It's got the classic little smoking window or whatever you call that thing. A little bit of rust here. Luckily it's inside, so it's not getting any worse, but just a little rust in the windshield surround. Looks like locking hubs. Here's your fuel tank. So I did try to buy this, but they were really not into it. They wanted to hang on to it. There's your fuel tank. There's some water dripping off of it. That's weird. But yeah, super cool little truck. It's kind of the perfect size. Great little fun car to run around the island on. Take it on the beach. I love the color too. It's just kind of like a primer gray. Looks like it's got a battery charger. Wouldn't be a block heater being gas. But overall it's in great shape. I'm really not sure. I think nice ones of these go for like 10K maybe. So they're not worth a ton of money, but it would be a fun thing to pick up, you know, if I could get it for 4,000 or around there, I would definitely buy it, because these are just really hard to find, especially where they're not entirely rusted out. So then we move over to this 13-foot whaler. Seen a few of these in my day, but this one's a little different. It's got some customization. I did try to buy this as well. I offered, I think, $3,000 for it, but they wanted more and then never really got back to me with a for sale price. Got a 25 Honda 4-stroke. Pretty good little motor there. Although 25 is a little underpowered for these boats. I mean, it'll do the trick, but you really want like at least a 30 or 40. I think 42 strokes kind of the sweet spot with these. It's got this kind of wacky steering because you can't fit the steering arm in the transom of these, so it just runs off of this setup. They would have been like rope and pulley steering originally, and this is one of the early ones because it's got the blue interior, and then it's got this bar that goes across this, you know, divider here that goes across the back, and the back is rounded a pretty good amount. So I think these are like pre-80s that have the blue interior. You're not really gonna find a hull ID number on these because they're so old, but this person made this nice little setup for a winter cover, besides the fact that they drilled these into the whole boat that you have to look at all year round. But I guess it does the purpose. This wood looks original, but I would kind of doubt it. This console is not original. They had a little different setup, but this is nice. You know, it's well made. Got a little Garmin GPS here. Nice little compass. That would have never been there originally. They just had the Ritchie compass on the dash. Up front, you got the front hatch. Again, this is different on the earlier ones. These do have oar-lock holders. And a lot of times, no, just the one set up front. They put these cleats on here. Never would have came with that. They usually just have the one on the front. Newer running light. The trailer's in good shape. The hull. So the big thing with these whalers is they're just so old that the hull and the gel coat, you know, it's really rare to find one that's still in good shape. Almost all the good shape ones are freshwater, kind of in the interior. So this one has some pretty significant crazing going on. A lot of this is just dirt, but you can see like here, these crazing is what they're called on these whalers. And that's really hard to get rid of unless you strip the whole thing down and reprimer, repaint. I don't think this one was ever painted. It looks pretty original to me. This is just residue from a tape. They probably taped the cover on there at one point. So this hull, you know, would clean up pretty well with just some dish soap and bleach, and maybe wet sand it. It would look good from 10 feet away, but you're never gonna get rid of all these little cracks unless you completely repaint it. And then the interiors are usually worse than the exterior. You'll find a lot of that. And a lot of this. This looks like the original paint to me, the original gel coat. So these boats don't really have a traditional floor. They're foam filled, so there's just the hull, and then there's like 3 inches of foam, and then there's the deck. So you don't really have to worry about a soft floor in these. What you do have to worry about is water getting into that foam and seeping in there and making your boat heavier than it should be. But you know, that kind of pretty much happens to all of them. After 50 years, you know, it's really hard to keep that foam dry. It is a good sign that this is out or in a shed, so it's not, there's no standing water in there or anything. But like anytime you drill into it for like this, or like a battery holder on the floor or anything, unless you use 5200 and do it right, there's gonna be foam, water in that foam. But it's not the end of the world. A lot of people freak out over, oh, is it wet? Is the foam filled with water? Blah blah blah. And you know, the thing is, like, most of them are, and it really doesn't make a huge difference. Honestly, they kind of ride better with a little extra weight. But yeah, unless you're like bringing it up on a davit onto a yacht, or you know, something like that, the extra weight doesn't really matter. And if it does, you know, you really want to seek out like a freshwater one that hasn't been sitting in the water, no bottom paint, and stored inside, which you can find them. They're around, you know, usually in a little bit inland. And if you're looking for a classic 13, that's definitely the way to go. Find one where the gel coat's still good and the interior is still good. This looks like it, yeah, it looks like it might have been painted one point back here, but they did a pretty good job matching the color almost exactly. I don't know if they did the whole boat or just this back here, but yeah, whenever I'm looking for one of these, you kind of want to make the call, like, is it just going to be a nice boat that you can use and you really don't care a ton about the aesthetics, or is it going to be like a really minty version? And it just depends where you start. Like with this one, I would just probably clean it up the way it is and refinish the wood, and just make it look as good as possible the way it is, rather than taking the whole thing apart and sanding the whole thing, fairing the whole thing, painting. It's just a real process to paint these, even though they are pretty small boats. But they just have those kind of iconic lines, and they're one of my favorite boats. I mean, they're just great for bombing around the harbor and as a tender and things like that. And I actually really do like the console they built for this one. It's pretty nice. I like it when there's I've seen some of them with a bigger bench seat back here and you kind of cover up all the wiring and stuff. That always looks good. But I would say a fair valuation on this one would be, you know, if I was selling it in the condition that it is right now, I would say I'll probably ask $4,500. Yeah, like 4,000, 4,500. The big plus on this is the motor. It's got that 4-stroke on there, so that brings a lot of value. A lot of them out there have old 2-stroke OMCs. So this one will bring a little bit of a premium because you don't have to repower it, and the whole interior is there. So yeah, I mean, these are great boats. Massachusetts, you don't need the title for them. Anything under 13 feet or under, you just need the registration. So you just need the MS numbers on the side and a bill of sale, and you should be good to go. This one also has a nice trailer on there. And then I would say cleaned up and in good running condition. Cleaned up, you know, with all this off the side and everything. Probably 5,000, 5,500 or so for this. So nice little boat. They're fun to look at. It's been great kind of looking at these two things all summer. And I don't think I'm going to end up with either of them unless they get back to me with, you know, we'll take 3,000 for it, then I would consider it. You can see there's a little bit of shine in there. Hard to see, but yeah, it would clean up nice, and nice trailer, nice motor. So that thing definitely has some value. And then this has value as well, obviously. I assume it runs. I might make another part of this video where I try to get it running. But yeah, it just goes to show, you know, barn finds and stuff like this is definitely still out here in people's backyards, and you just gotta ask. You just gotta find them and ask. So yeah, those are the two units in the garage, and I thought you'd get a kick out of it. So look out for the next video.